Hello! So far, you have probably been watching our videos and they've been mostly interview conversations with me and Krishna, but today we wanted to do something a little bit different. I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about what it means to think for yourself because we all love watching self-improvement videos. And we can go down this hole of reading books and videos, and I do this a lot too, where it's people telling us how to live our life, how to be, and you can find that in culture, through our parents, through society, and also from the content that we continuously watch. But I think it's super important to balance this and make sure that you're actually thinking for yourself. How do you do that? I think the main way in which you do that is by asking questions. When you ask yourself questions and you just sit with yourself, that's when you actually figure out what do you want in the first place and how are you going to change to get there. What does it mean to actually think for yourself? Maybe you're wondering, do I even think for myself? Or maybe you're thinking, I already think for myself. Thinking for yourself means that you don't let other opinions rule your life. Opinions of society, opinions of culture, opinions of me, opinions of your friends, whatever it is, you don't let that completely control your life. Let's say that your mom is telling you, go to engineering school or go to medical school. You don't just do it. You think about what she's saying, you think about where her perspective is coming from. Why does she want you to go to medical school? Why do you want to go to medical school? Or why do you not want to go to medical school? And thinking about it from the perspective of every single person involved, including yourself, is going to help you make an informed decision, which will then help you get closer to your dream life. So, thinking for yourself means creating your own reality. You cannot completely get rid of how external people and things, how they influence you, because everything on a subconscious level, energies will always influence your energy. But if you are aware, then you can navigate it better and you can handle when other energies are impacting your energies, your decisions, your life. And I think that there's a way of going about this without being so structured either. This doesn't mean letting go of the flow of life. Letting things flow is super important because I think that it gives a lot of peace in life. But part of flow is also trust. So if you know that you can think for yourself and that you are self-aware, that's an element of self-trust as well. You trust yourself to put yourself in environments that will have the right impact on you and your life. And by doing that, you can flow because you trust yourself. So to sum it all up, thinking for yourself just means reflecting before acting. It's that state of awareness, that third person perspective that we've mentioned in the podcast before. So what is asking questions? Asking questions should be coming from curiosity, not from judgment. We might be very prone to judging ourselves. I think everyone is prone to judging yourself as well as other people. But the difference between curiosity and judgment is that curiosity doesn't care about what the answer is. Curiosity is asking because of interest, not because there's a specific right or wrong. So judgment, there is a right or wrong. You have a belief that you're tied to, and that belief might be good or bad according to whatever your individual moral standards are, but judgment has an idea of what is right or wrong. So when we pass judgment on other people, we are saying that this person is doing something that is wrong according to what I believe. So an example of this that you might do to yourself is, let's say you are talking bad about other people. Then you might notice yourself doing that, or you might not, which hopefully you are noticing yourself talking bad about other people. But once you start noticing that, then you automatically have this second thought after that, which is going to hopefully be that, oh, I shouldn't be talking bad about people. That can either be, that is a judgment. The next thought after you saying, I shouldn't be talking bad about other people is, how can I change that? And also, why am I talking bad about other people? The main thing that you should get from this video is ask why. Ask why. That is how you're going to start this whole transition into living a life that you love, simply by asking why. As soon as you notice yourself doing anything, always ask why. Always. If it's good, if it's bad, just start asking why. And that might seem really, really hard to do initially. It was pretty hard for me to do early on, but the way that I started making it much more habit, I started journaling. And if you don't journal, you should definitely journal, because it's a very great way to understand what are you thinking about, what are you prioritizing. And when you start this journaling journey, make sure that after you notice a pattern, so let's say that I'm writing about how I really want this job, or how I don't like this person, blah 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 blah. Those might be some common things that you write about. When you see that on the paper, your next question should be why. Why do I want this job so much? Why do I not like this person so much? Because everything around you, everything that's external to you, how you perceive it is very much related to how your internal is. That's why all of this is so important. If you want to get to your dream life, if you actually want to live a life that you love, then you need to start reflecting, because you need to start changing and taking action towards getting closer to that dream life. So let's say that you absolutely hate journaling and you do not want to start journaling, which is dumb anyways, but let's say that that's you. Then what I would do is start applying this to other people's life. So everybody judges other people. That's, if you don't want to admit that to yourself, that's fine, but you definitely do that. We are all humans here, and we make judgments every single microsecond. So one way in which you can apply this mindset of asking why without journaling is to ask it to other people. That might be easier for you to do. So for example, let's say that I'm going about my day and I see somebody reading on the bench, and I notice that, and from noticing is a judgment, right? So I noticed that and I judged it as a great thing, a good thing. So then my next thought might be, why is that something that's so cool to me? Why am I interested in that? Why am I judging that as a positive thing? And from asking that question, I'm going to learn more about myself. I'm going to learn that, oh, I like being in peaceful environments. I like being in parks. I like being in gardens. And you can keep going deeper and deeper and deeper until you find more and more interesting things. And the more that you ask why, the more you learn about what you like, what you don't like. And that's how you create a life that you love, by understanding who you are in the first place. So hopefully by now you understand why it's important to be in the asking questions mindset, to be curious. I'm just gonna talk about that a little bit more, why being curious is so important. It's the point of life. If you're not curious about what's around you, you're missing out on so much. Look at how much beauty there is everywhere. There's so many amazing people out there. There's so many amazing things to do. There's amazing trees, amazing animals. And if you're not feeling that from the inside, you're missing out. You're missing out on life. Like, start thinking for yourself, stop relying on other people, develop that curiosity, because that curiosity is going to take you closer to where you want to be. Hey, it's me from the future. As I was editing this, I noticed that there were some key pieces missing. So if you've made it this far into the video, then you get some extra info. One of the main things that people struggle with when they're just starting journaling is, what do you even write about? I would start with just writing about what you did during the day. What did you spend your time on? And what are you planning to spend your time on the next day? Journaling right before you sleep is super helpful because it clears your mind of any thoughts that might be in the backlog, and it gives you a really, really great sleep. I also want to go a little bit deeper on content. Watching a lot of content or reading a lot of self-help books, all of these things are amazing tools to help you uncover other tools, to help you learn about yourself, to help you learn about the world. But when it can become too much is if you let these things stop you from taking action and remaining in that third person perspective that we've talked about. So let's say that I'm reading a lot of books, I'm watching a lot of videos, but I'm not actually making change in my life that is aligning towards this content. I might be stuck in this cycle of consuming information and not taking action. When you think too much, you can't take action. It can overwhelm you when you have a lot of information. So try to take a deep breath and pause and ask yourself, reflect, journal about this. See if you're maybe watching too many videos. Okay, one last thing about curiosity. I mentioned about how it can completely enhance your experience of life because you're feeling excitement for the world around you. But the other thing it can also do is help you solve problems. When you're curious about something, it means that you're not attached to the outcome, like I already said earlier. But what that also does is it gives you a more objective perspective. So if you're curious about a problem or a situation, then you can look at it in a more objective lens versus if you're doing it from that judgment point of view, then you are attached to the outcome, which will keep you from seeing it in the most objective way, which will keep you from solving the problem in the most effective way. So curiosity also helps you solve your problems in the most efficient, best way, not just your problems, but also other problems like building a treehouse or doing any kind of work. When you're curious about that work, you're passionate about that work, you have that excitement from within, then you can do better work as well. I hope that helped, and I hope that these podcasts have been helping you. We are trying to make it more practical and ways in which you can implement it into your own life. If you have any feedback for us, please leave it in the comments or DM either of us. We are super excited to see how we can help you.